Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to Tarot Tuesday, the weekly event in which I read your card for free and we all just hang out and hope that things are going smoothly for everyone. I see we have so many in chat already. I see that. Hey, Chad, what's up? How are you doing? Lost for words, you're here. Lydia, what's up? Laura, how are you? So many of you. Oh my gosh. So, I've decided tonight, by the way, that we are going to reevaluate an Oracle deck. I used these on New Year's Eve. Um, this Oracle deck is the Seed and the Sickle, and I don't think we've spent a whole lot of time with it. And it's a really fun deck because when you go to read a card in shadow, it's called Dusk. So you have two different types of guidebooks. You have one for dawn and you have one for dusk. And I thought it would be just cool to be able to spend some time with this deck tonight, if you guys don't mind. What's up, Christy? Francesca, how are you? How are you? I see. Yeah, we got so many. All right. Who's in tonight? Who wants a card? I know Chad, you're probably wanting a card. Lost for words, you're in. Francesca. I was watching Francesca, by the way, I was watching an old like Survivor, like basically like the best parts of Survivor. And I guess that they had a woman by the name or sounded like Francesca, and this one contestant could not say her name. Could not say her name correctly at all. Do you have that problem? Do people have a hard time saying your name? Krista, you're in here. Laura, I got you down. Lydia, you're in. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to read everybody. Like the chat is just like going, and I'm so excited. You guys are in it tonight. All right. It happens, Francesca? Really? You've gotten a lot of people. Am I saying it wrong? Tell me if I'm saying it wrong. I have had a lot of people say my first name wrong, so I get it. And if I'm a little bit more peppy tonight, it's because Christy bought me this really nice coffee from Apalachicola. And I'm telling you what, the it's called the Apalachicola Chocolate and Coffee Company. Holy crap, Batman. They know coffee. So if you're in that area, get yourself some coffee. It's good. Mm. Okay, so I'm a little peppier tonight because I've had an extra cup of coffee. I don't know if that's a good thing, guys. We're gonna find out, though, aren't we? All right, Francesca, I'm saying it right. Cool. Oh, you have a new patron, Chad. Oh, really? Chad, you know what? There's somebody that's on here all the time. We were talking. I'm not sure if it was New Year's Eve or if it was the previous tarot, but we were discussing like there's a bunch of things that were just happening, and it was like, oh, maybe it's Loki playing some tricks. You know Norse mythology, I think, better than anybody that's in chat. Is it? I kept saying it isn't. Is it like Loki to completely destroy your life just for fun? Because the understanding I have of Loki is not that. Like he plays pranks and you'll end up getting hurt, but it's not like he'll destroy your life just for the funsies. So I'd like to hear your input on that one. While you give me that input, I am going to read your card, Chad. You have the card called Bracken, and it came in dusk. So we're going to read Bracken in dusk. I find these cards very interesting because of the dusk and dawn perspective of it. Because when they talk about the dusk and dawn perspective of it, it's like you can look at a tree in dawn and you can see this tree in a light, obviously, that you wouldn't see the same tree at dusk. Like the colors are different, the animals that are in the tree are different. So using this oracle deck, and it's all like earth elements and different types of flora and fauna, it's really cool to see that that thought has been put into it. Like, what would you see if you were given full knowledge versus what would you see if you weren't given full knowledge, if you didn't have everything exactly lined up? It's very cool. Christine, what's up? Oh, okay. Well, thank you for showing support. I love you much. Have fun. Give your little one squeezes. All right, Bracken. Let's look up Bracken. Bracken at dusk. The mystical golden fern seed is believed to have the power to grant invisibility. The actual existence of fern seed has never been proven, but the magical reputation of the seed remains, as does the fern's mysterious secret. Do not be afraid to let yourself become invisible for a while. The world does not need to know where you are or what you are doing at all times. Let yourself escape from the public eye until you're ready to return. And you know what, Chad? I feel like that's already what you've been doing. You've already been escaping from the public eye, waiting for a return. It's not now. This card is coming out saying you still need some me time right now. You need some time to just be in your own head and in your own space. So continue to do what you've been doing, my friend. Focus on you. Say that again. Wait, Chad, wait. Okay, Chad, I've got you just said something and my whole world kind of went upside down real quick because there is somebody that I've been talking to, another mentee, because I mentor a lot of different witchlings, and we were talking about Dagba. And that is particularly one that's been reaching out to them. Very interesting. Very interesting. And Christy, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he refers to patron, whereas I refer to deity. Like I would say I have another deity that I'm working with, and he says I have a patron that I'm working with. Hey Veronique, what's up? Do you want me to put you on here? Get you a card. Get you on the list. So very, very, very interesting, Chad, that you say the name Dagba. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. Lost for words. It's your turn. Lost for words. I don't know. There's a weird emotionality in your energy tonight. It feels like static. It feels electric, but not like, when I say electric, sometimes there's that tingly feeling that when you're excited about things, right? But then when I also say the word electric, it feels like it hurts. It zaps, right? It's just get too close and it's going to hurt you. There's a very electric feeling, very staticky feeling to your energy, that you're very raw. Does that make sense to you? Like your emotions are raw right now. Hey, Lena, I know who you are. uh, lost for. All right. Lost for. You got foxglove, but you got it in dusk. So let's find out what foxglove in dusk looks like for you. Foxglove is one of the plants said to protect a babe against being replaced by a fairy changeling child. Perhaps you feel as though you do not recognize yourself anymore or the path that your life is taking, but it's not too late to grab a hold of that stranger and banish them. Indulge in a pastime you haven't picked up for a while, or take a walk down a familiar road to remind yourself of who you used to be. Or perhaps you, like this new self that has emerged and want to be embraced. It is natural to change and grow, and so can your identity. Loss for this makes sense for you. And it makes sense why you're kind of staticky and you haven't been taking time for yourself. You haven't been indulging in the things that you like. It's been very much outside of you, like your energy is outside of you, right? And so when we push our energy away from its source, it gets staticky. So you need to bring that energy back into source. You need to do some grounding and do something that you find joy in. Because right now you're the only way I can explain is you're blinking. Like you're about to go out. You've got to take time for you. That's what I'm feeling for you. Veronique, that makes me happy. I'm glad that it's helping you. I really am glad that it's helping you. My biggest thing in life and what I love to do is I love to help people see themselves in the way that I see people. And I see people as limitless. I see people as full of potential. Your potential only stops, though, because of your own self negativity and the things that have happened in your life, right? That contribute to that self negativity. So I enjoy making people see themselves in the way that I get to see them. So I'm glad that that's helping you. I really am. um, let's see. Chad, I have a patron as a partnership with the old gods. Yes, I have worked with other gods over the lifetime. Yes. So we think of deity and I say deity, you say patron. Lost for words. Did that make sense for you? I think it does. Okay. Leo also wants a card. All right, I'll put Lena and Leo on there. You told Leo that I need mama's permission. Just kidding. Oh my goodness. Just I in total I have at the moment 3 patrons. I as well. I have 3 at the moment. Um oh good. Good, Veronique. No, you're fine, Veronique. I get it. I get it. Over 800 years ago, after the Viking Age, and ended at work. Yeah. Lost for words. It resonates. Good. So I'm glad. So you know what this card is talking about for you. This card is trying to get you to focus on you. Take a moment for you. I think a lot of times also we get lost in our own things that are happening in our life. We kind of lose ourselves and we don't know who we are. So we lose what brings us joy. And so it's kind of hard to say, hey, go do what brings you joy. Well, what is that? I don't know. So I think this card is reminding you to do that before you forget what brings you joy. All right. Juby, Rachel, what's up? Technically, I'm an adult, so I can vouch for Leo. Technically, you are right. Technically, Lydia. Rachel, I'll put you down. How are you tonight? And Juby, what's up? You made it. Did you get that video edited, Juby? Did you find the song? I know you were looking for a song. Absolutely. I am doing well, Juby. I am doing well. I am very caffeinated, which may or may not be a good thing. We'll see. I haven't been on forever, so glad I caught you. Happy holidays to you. It has been forever. Yes, I did use MC Hammer can't touch us. I can't with you, Juby. I can't. I remember a pool party when I was like in middle school, and I'm like on the like float in the pool, and it's like can't touch this. I'm done. All right. We're doing Francesca next. Francesca, it's your time for a card. Francesca, it feels like you're trying to take a deep breath. Like you're at a peaceful moment, but like it's a forced peaceful moment. Like you're trying to take a moment for you. That makes sense? Chamomile. Okay. Chamomile. So your card is chamomile, and you've got it in dawn. So we're going to read what your chamomile has to say. But chamomile, if you are a tea drinker, you know, has a calming effect. And I just said you were trying to force peace. Chamomile is a great companion plant to grow in your garden, protecting other plants from pests. With the scent of its flowers and the antibacterial properties of its leaves, it's particularly fond of herbs such as mint, even improves their taste and fragrance when in close proximity. This card is encouraging you to lean on a strong existing relationship that has provided support and companionship in the past. Or it may be suggesting that there is a new one on the horizon. That is not what I'm getting from this. I'm getting a strong one from the past. You have a strong bond with somebody from the past. Who do you rely on and trust the most? Who are you grateful for above all others? You will be hearing from them very, very soon. So this isn't a new relationship, but this is an existing relationship. All right. So, Francesca, the things that you've been going through, this person will be a person in your corner, okay? And they will reach out to you. So be prepared, and you trust them. You trust them. Above all else, you trust them. Keep trusting them. Da da da. Kathy, hi, how are you? You are Juby's mom. Well, hello, Juby's mom. It's nice to meet you, Juby's mom. All right. Let's see. As for me too, I started painting again. Yas. I finished a blankie. Oh. All right. Big. You just call yourself a big hippie? I did. I went ahead and added her, Juby. So we're at Christy now. Christy, which dog is around you? Because I know race car is always around you. Somewhere. But one of the dogs feels very close. So you have crocus, but you have it in dusk. All right. And you know what I like about this deck also is I don't know a lot of these flowers and herbs and plants, and being able to go through this deck, I learn. So I really enjoy that. Crocus. Like I said, you got it in dusk. Speaking up for yourself can be one of the hardest things to do, particularly if you don't feel as though your opinion is worth being heard. But being assertive doesn't mean coming across as aggressive. You're simply letting people know what your needs are. Now is the perfect time to speak up about something that's weighing on you. You may be surprised by how it sets things on a path to change. That's pretty self-explanatory, I think. I really think that's self-explanatory. The thing that you don't want to bring up just simply because it might be confrontational is the thing that you need to in order to change it, right? Yeah. Yeah. I knew you had the dogs near you. I was like, what's going on? Right, Christy? Like, dang. At least these aren't the, what is it? The skull deck that I have. The skull deck, I don't know if you guys, those of you that are in here were in here when I was using the skull deck the other night, but those cards are mean. Those cards are mean. I do like these cards a lot. Laura Lee, thank you. Thank you. Reminding everybody to please hit the like and subscribe button for me. It does me a big deal. I am hoping one of my goals this year is, right now I'm at 300 subscribers, like 329 or something like that. I would like to, by the end of the year, be at 1,000. That's my end of the year goal. My end of the year goal is to have 1,000 subscribers. So it means I actually have to do more videos. Right. We can do this. We can do this. You say you can do it. No, we can do this. You guys are what make this community a big deal. So that's right. I'm going to say it by June. Veronique, you're right. I'll be at 1,000. 6 months. All right. Laura, it's your turn. It's your turn. Laura, as soon as I start connecting to your energy, I see red. And not like in a mad, like, I see red. No, not that way, but like it's a color near me. I see red and wood furniture. Red and wood. But it feels like an enclosed space. I don't get this. The energy, like what's setting up, the room that's setting up in my head. I see red, but I see like wood furniture, and it's small. It's not a big room. Belladonna. Very interesting. You have belladonna at dawn. Belladonna is a poisonous herb, to my understanding. It's a poisonous plant. Belladonna is a card of inevitability. Sacrifice. There is conflict inside you, making it difficult to focus on the task at hand. The shears of Atropos, the Greek goddess of fate who gives Atropa Belladonna its name, are snipping at the threads you've carefully put into place. Perhaps it is time to sit back and consider where things have become entangled. You have to place some of your other projects aside to stop the main one from becoming completely knotted. That last sentence isn't yours. That last sentence isn't yours. Perhaps it is time to sit back and consider where things have become entangled. That is yours. That is yours. There's a lot of entanglement. And I see, okay, so I see like 4 dots, right? I see 4 dots, and then I see like all these threads in between the 4 dots. There's a line that if you can pull it out, it'll straighten out all this. But you're the only one that can pull that thread. You're the only one that can pull that knot. Does that make sense to you, Laura? So the way I see it is like there's 4 people and a bunch of nonsense going on. Is that 4 different people that are trying to request things from you? Because the number 4 is the biggest thing. Like there's 4 different points that everything's just getting chaotically thrown in together. What's up, Juanita? How are you? All right. All right. Oh, Christy. Unfortunately, gotta go. Bye. Have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Lost for words, it could be like there's 4 points, and maybe that's the reason why I see them not as people, but I see them as points, like circles in my head. Because what it looks like is there are 4 points, and they're in different areas of my brain, and then there's just like yarn thrown in, like a bunch of yarn and string, and they're all different colors, and so it's very chaotic and gross. But it's like if just one string was pulled, then it would be figured out. It would be straightened out. So my recommendation to you, Laura, is find that one thing to focus on. Let everything else kind of be what it's going to be, because you're getting stretched too thin, right? It's becoming too jumbled in your head. So pull the one thing, get it done, and then go to the next. All right. What's up, Lilith? All right. I'm going to put Juanita down. And Lilith. There we go. All right. Lydia, it is your turn, kiddo. It is your turn. I feel like there's a kitchen. Are you guys in the kitchen? Are you baking again? Because I feel like there's a leaning on a counter for you, Lydia. You have the rose at dusk, Lydia. Lilith's like, I'm in the kitchen. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. My phone is ringing. It should not be. Rose. And you have it in dusk. So let's find out what the rose in dusk means. Hanging a rose from a ceiling, a tradition which started with the Romans and continues today, indicates that any conversation which takes place in its presence must be kept in the strictest of confidence. I did not know that. Do you know how many roses I have hung in my lifetime upside down from the ceiling just to simply let dry? I did not realize I was given a convert code of shh, this stays between us. That's flipping cool. That's flipping cool. All right, we got it. Thanks. um, let's see. It's time to finally tell that secret that's been gnawing away at you. Choose your confidant carefully. It may be that they have something they've also been wanting to share. Your relationship can only grow stronger through trusting each other. So, your card right now, there's a thing that you've been wanting to say to somebody. You're not sure if you should say it. Go ahead and say it. That's what it's saying. It's like trust that instinct that you feel that you can trust them and go for it. So that's what your card is saying. Now I want to know who you going to talk to. Do I need to have a talk with them? All right, Veronique, it is your turn. Your Sims are in the kitchen. Don't tell me I was connecting to your Sims. Were you feeling more like your Sims character just now? Is that what I just read? Did I just read a card for your Sims character? I'm done, Lydia. All right, Veronique, it's your turn. I swear to everything I find holy if I don't know why that popped out like it did. I don't read cards like you've seen people who like do the shuffling really fast and whatever card pops out, that's the card they read. I don't read that way. But if a card does fall out when I don't mean for it to fall out, then I kind of take a look at it. I'm like, And so, Veronique, you had one do that. As I was trying to shuffle, you had a card that popped out. I'm going to pull a card and we're going to read the popped out card too. I've never played Sims either. I have never played Sims either. I know what it is, but I've never played. All right. You had the Pimpernel in Dusk, okay? But the card that popped out first is a sickle, all right? And it is in Dawn. So we're going to read what the sickle has to say about it being in Dawn. You've done it. This card represents finality and endings. All your hard work has come to fruition, and now it's time to reap the rewards. The sickle is the tool for harvesting, a link between your body and the bounty you have worked for through your own expansion. Your harvest is gathered, your loose ends tied off, and you can draw a deep breath knowing that you've earned every moment of this. And just around the corner, the next spark of inspiration awaits. Okay? So that's the first thing, is that you are in a moment of starting to gather all the things that you've worked so hard for. So hard for. But you have a Pimpernel at Dusk. So I want to know, how does that intertwine with your sickle? So how does that intertwine with your sickle? The Scarlet Pimpernel owns its folk name, Waywart, to a German legend. A girl who planned to elope with her beloved arranged to meet him at a crossroads, but waited for days for him to appear, until eventually her feet took root and she turned into the first Pimpernel flower. Life has brought you to a crossroads, and you may not know which road is the right one to turn down. But you are not the first person to have come to this junction. Others have gone before you, and their wisdom remains to watch over you. Whichever road you choose here will be the right one. These two cards in conjunction, Veronique, are huge. This is your confirmation of, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right things? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? You just got confirmation that that's a yes. The things that you're receiving, the good things that you're receiving, is because of your hard work and because of the road that you've chose to take, right? So good job. Good job. All right. That's your confirmation. You wanted confirmation. Am I right? Good job. You're welcome. You are absolutely welcome. All right. Lena, it's time. I know, Lilith, isn't it great? Like when you get a card for somebody else and it's like they're getting that validation that the things that are happening are supposed to be happening and it's the right path for them and that good things are going to continue to come. Love it. All right, Lena. Lena, are you wearing pink? I get the color pink around you. All right, I'm not going to ask you to validate this. All right, I don't want you to put anything in chat. But I'm going to say this. It feels like something going on at school. I get a school vibe. Bramble. You got Bramble and you've got it in Dawn. Bramble has thorns, by the way. At least the stuff that I've been taught was Bramble has thorns. I don't like Bramble. All right. You can never be too prepared for the next curveball. Even if things seem to be going well right now, take a moment to consider what pitfalls might lie ahead and how things can go wrong. Now, even in the worst case scenario, you'll be ready to catch yourself before you fall. Just like the bramble always protects itself against disaster, so too will you be safe from the worst of the fallout. So, the situation that you're thinking of right now, the situation that's going on, think of the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. And I normally don't tell people to like be negative, but it's not being negative in this situation. What you're doing is you're going to look at what's happening, what's the worst thing that can happen in this situation, and I want you to prepare for not letting that happen. What kind of steps do you need to take so that doesn't happen, right? What is going on? That's not every situation that's going to work. That turns into anxiety real quick. We don't need that, right? We do not need that. There's enough of that. But this particular situation, you do need to look at what the worst case scenario is and mitigate that worst case scenario. Okay? Leo, it's time for your oracle card. Leo. And Leo's laughing now. Probably like that, right? Right. All right, Leo. You're welcome, Lena. Leo, I see yellow with you. And I got a pacifier all of a sudden, like a toy pacifier. I don't know what that is. Are you being a big baby? Oh, I'm just playing. All right, Leo. Leo, you got hops and Dawn. So let's find out. Hops, by the way, looks like this. Hops is what they use to make beer, which I don't drink. I don't like the taste of that stuff. I like wine, but I don't like that. I don't like beer. I like ciders. That's great, but not beer. It's gross. So when you get older, don't drink it. It's gross. Just saying. All right, hops. Walls, buildings, boulders. Nothing stands in the way of a hop. The Romans called it the wolf among the willows for its voracious growing habits. It is an explorer, as are you, moving swiftly over and around the obstacles life throws in your way. You are victorious, rising above the odds. Now is not the time to let anything slow you down. Leo, that whole thing is for you. Whole thing is for you. In this moment in your life when you are starting to realize who you are, right? You're starting to look at the world and you're like, that's the world I want to go into, right? As you're starting to see all the things and all the opportunities in front of you, you're going to get a whole bunch of people that tell you you're not doing it right. That's not right. No, you're not supposed to think that way. Who says? Everything's made up anyways. Everything's made up. Down to my name was made up. Right? Everything is made up. So who says? Who says something's right or wrong? Right? As long as it doesn't hurt anybody. So what? So what? Right? So all the things that you're thinking and all the things that you want to do them. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody and it doesn't hurt you, go for it, kid. Go for it. Right? Mrs. M, you're such a strong witch to be able to tell what people are doing for across the screen. No, it's just a part of the gift. Like, all I can tell you is, like, you know how when you're reading a book, when you read a book and you start seeing the scene in your head, that's kind of that's what it feels like with you guys. It's almost like as I read your energy, the scene starts to build in my head. And it's just something that for the longest time, I thought, you make that crap up. You're making it up. That's not real. And it's kind of what I do. That's kind of like, I just have to, like, that's what I do. As I read people, the scene builds in my head. All right. Rachel, it's your turn. Rachel, it's your turn. My superpower is being able to tell when it rains. That's what I claim as superpower. Kathy, when they're close to me, it sounds like static. It's it can get overwhelming. So actually doing it from afar is easier for me than doing it close, because when it's close, it's like too much. I have to work a lot to kind of put up guards and kind of wall up things. Oh, Juanita, thank you. All right, Rachel. Rachel, I see a hoodie. Like a really comfortable hoodie. That's what it feels like. A really comfortable hoodie. I remember that, Chad. I remember that. All right, Rachel, you got the willow. You got the willow and dawn. All right. So light is just starting to seep in at dawn, right? So what does the willow and dawn have us to say? The willow tree is characterized by its thin, pliable branches, and it's time that you take a leaf out of its book. Learning to be more adaptable in your mindset is a valuable skill, and soon you're going to find yourself in a situation where you'll need more flexibility. Try not to get too stuck on thoughts of how you've always done things or how things have always been. Embrace a new outlook and try things differently. You may be surprised by the results. You know exactly. As soon as I started saying all this, there was some very, very specific point that you went to. You went to a very specific point when I started talking about this. And this isn't a point that's existing right now. This is a point that's about to exist, right? It's a point that you've been worried about. It's a point that you've been struggling with. It's a point that you've put a lot of energy into. I am going to go out on a limb and say the point is college. And I'm going to make sure you understand, even if that's not what this card is talking about, this point that's going to be happening will require you to not bring your baggage to the table. So you can't bring past life experiences into this situation to be able to solve it. You're going to have to think about the situation in a way that you've never thought about anything. Okay? All right. Juby, it's your turn. It is your turn. Yeah, Rachel, this is a situation that hasn't happened yet. But your mind went to something. All right, Juby. Are the girls asleep? Are the little ones asleep? It's quiet. Why is it quiet? Okay. I was like, is there something wrong? Because it's really quiet. Normally when I connect to your energy, Juby, I typically will hear them. Like their giggles and their running and like the play, right? And this time I connected in and it was a very lulled energy and I'm like, are they asleep? What's going on? So they're just getting ready for bed. Okay. All right. They're chill right now. Okay, that's what I'm getting. All right. The poppy at dawn. You got a poppy at dawn. My brother, my little brother. I have two little brothers. I have some adopted brothers, but as far as like biological half siblings, I have two biological half brothers. Um, different parents. Like one of my brothers, we share a mom. One of my brothers, we share a dad. The one that we share a mom with, his nickname was Poppies because he was so cute when he was little. My mom said he was just so cute. He was like you could get addicted to his cuteness. And so he was like a poppies plant. So we call him Poppies. So when I see Poppy, I'm like, "Oh, it's my brother." So his name still to this day, I've never called him by his actual name. I've just always called him Pops. Always called him Pops. Yeah, Kathy, her spirit is calm too tonight. The devil is in the details, Juby. An old protection against pursuit by monsters involves scattering poppy seeds in your path. Spirits are compelled to stop and count any small items that they come across. So this difficult task will slow them long enough for you to escape. Try not to get too entangled in the details, or you'll find yourself coming to a complete stop. It's time to take a few of the less important factors slide for the sake of moving forward. You're planning too much. You're planning too much and getting lost in the details. But there's something that you need to lay down for them to get lost in the details. Oh my goodness, that's a good question. What is that you need to lay down? Ask yourself, what is it that you need to lay down in order for them to get lost in the details? Because right now you're nitpicking everything so much that it's slowing progress down. So you've got to, first off, you got to stop counting every single grain of sand, right? But you need to create that obstacle for somebody else. How do you make them get lost in the details? It's like a misdirection. You're trying to divert attention. So it's a 2-for-1 on this card. You stop getting lost in the details, and then 2, get somebody lost in those details. So that's what I'm saying. All right, Kathy, it's your turn. And as soon as I said your name, is there a cat? Like, I say Kathy, and I realize cat is in Kathy, but it's like a tabby cat. Why do I see a gray tabby cat? Ah, so there is a cat, Festus. Yeah, this is a gray cat that I see. This gray cat has been very concerned about things. It's not acting like it normally does. Interesting. You also have a Dawn card. You have the Rowan. You have the Rowan tree. And from what you've been telling me, this kind of makes sense. This kind of makes sense. So you're Rowan. Rowan trees are seen as a symbol of tenacity, capable of growing in the tiniest crevices in cliff sides and rocks. You've been doing a lot of the same, growing well in spite of uncertain ground you've stood on, and your determination has paid off once you've realized you've got an advantage over those who've had an easier path. It's easy to envy others for thriving, but give yourself credit for having thrived in adversity. What lessons have you learned by thriving in adversity that others do not have that you get to use to your advantage? This is an interesting thing. This is an interesting card. We did, when I was a teacher, we did a poverty simulation. And basically, what it was we were all scattered into different families. We were given family cards, and there was different family dynamics, different things happening within that family. We had different types of bills that we had to pay, different types of jobs within that family, right? And then inside the simulation that we had set up, there were community resources, right? What we learned, what we were trying to learn is, what information do our students have based on the fact that a lot of them in the school that I was teaching in, a lot of them were growing up in poverty. So what kind of knowledge did they have that we didn't have, and that we could learn to become better teachers by sharing in that knowledge with them? One of the things that I found when we were going through the simulation is, I grew up in poverty. So when it came down to, oh, we can't pay our lights, I was the one within my group going, hey, there's a resource, most cities, that will help you pay your lights for the one time. Like, if you're on down and out, you can call the electric company or the different programs and say, hey, I need help, paying my lights. So what that made me understand is that my adversity, my crappy poverty life, was actually really, really, really beneficial as a teacher, because now I understood, like when I was giving projects to my kids, what they could afford, right? What they might have at home to help them with these projects. And I wasn't assuming that they had everything that I had at home, right? That's what your card is coming up with. Your card is like, hey, this is a moment where you need to look at all the things that you have had happen, but you were given special knowledge from all these things. How are you going to take that knowledge and in a situation you're involved in, make that situation better? How are you going to share that information with somebody? All right. Juanita, you are next. You are next. All right. So, Juanita, if you miss it out, we are at 55-54. Come back and watch it if you lose it, okay? All right, Kathy. Juanita, this is yours. Juanita, I see wood around you. Not like woods, but wood, like wood furniture. Wood floors. You've got the elder. You have the elder, and it is in dawn. The elder, and it's in dawn. The elder is a tree beloved by mischievous magic and inhabited by pixies and ghosts around the world. Stopping beneath it for too long may lull you into a long and gripping sleep. Drawing this card is a warning. You may soon be tempted to slow down and take things easier, but doing so may mean you miss some key opportunities. Whatever waits to lure you away from your goal, don't let it distract you. This partly feels like it's already happening, but it doesn't feel like it's the full distraction yet. But something is coming within your vision right now that is distracting you from your goal. Ignore it. Ignore it. It's not yours right now. Okay? This is not yours. Whatever you're getting distracted by, not yours. Look away. Look away. It's really tempting, and it's going to get even more tempting. It's going to get a lot tempting. But it doesn't meet where you're wanting to go with your life. Don't stray from that. Don't stray from that path. Keep your goals close to you and think about them often. Okay? I am too. I love this deck, Chad. I love this deck. All right, Lilith is our last person for the night. And then I will pull a guiding card. You're welcome, Juanita. All right, Lilith. Lilith, there's a bubble. Did you put yourself in a bubble? I feel like you're protecting yourself a lot. You open the door to let me in, but you have a bubble around you, like a protection. So you are trying to protect yourself right now because of anxiety. Okay. Yeah, because you're in a bubble. You have clover at dusk. Clover at dusk. A four-leaf clover is a rare thing to find, with only one growing for every 10,000 standard clovers. In early Irish Celtic tradition, a four-leaf clover was believed to protect against misfortune and bestow the power to sea fairies. Even today, everyone knows them to be a sign of good fortune to come. Drawing this card does not require any action, thinking, or change from you. It is simply a sign that something fortuitous, however small, is due to come your way soon. Have faith that there is still some kindness in this world. And that small little act of kindness is going to break whatever this anxious cycle, because you're in a anxiety circle. You are in an anxiety circle. Okay, so I'm sorry if you feel self-conscious. It's not what I want you to feel, okay? Um, but you are in an anxiety circle, just kind of going around and around, around. There is kindness that will bring you out of this circle, okay? Be aware of it. Be aware of it. Think about it. Think about really, like it's going to look like something small, but you need to think about that, what it meant for this to happen. Okay. All right. Guiding card. Guiding card. Guiding card for the week. Moonwort. Moonwort at dawn. So what is moonwort? I learned so many different things from this deck. Like I never knew what moonwort is. A commonly cited magical property of the moonwort fern is the power to pierce iron. There is said to be a hill in Devon in the UK so covered in moonwort that 30 freshly shod horses belonging to the Earl of Essex once lost their horseshoes whilst riding across it. Like moonwort, you can find inside of you the power to conquer any hurdle that stands in your way. You may feel small and easily trampled, but every barrier that stops you from moving forward has its weak points. Embrace your own inner strength and find it. Ah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't need to say anything else. Just that. Just that. All right, my lovelies. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope your cards helped this week. Remember, as always, be happy, be safe, and know that I love you. Bye, everyone.